In 1932, Australia launched a military operation against a very unusual enemy. It moved in huge numbers. It tore through farmland. It outran trucks. It survived machine gun fire. Soldiers chased it across the Western Australian outback for weeks, and still, they couldn't stop it. Because the enemy wasn't an army. It was a bird, the emu, and it defeated the Australian army. Summer 1932, Western Australia. The Great Depression had farmers hanging on by their fingernails. Then the emus arrived, 20,000 of them, fresh off breeding season, 6-foot-tall birds pouring into wheat fields like a feathery apocalypse, stomping fences, eating crops, wiping out entire harvests overnight. The farmers begged for help, and the government came up with a brilliant solution. Send in soldiers. Enter Major GPW Meredith, career military man, perfect posture, steel spine. To Meredith, this wasn't a bird problem, it was a military operation. The plan was simple: Mount Lewis machine guns on trucks, drive into the flocks, and open fire. Clean, efficient, brutal. Instead, it became one of the most embarrassing military operations in Australian history. Here's the problem nobody accounted for. Emus are stupid in the exact way that makes them impossible to fight. The second the guns opened up, the flock separated instantly, hundreds of birds sprinting in random directions at 30 kilometers an hour. The soldiers couldn't track them. The trucks bounced across rough farmland. The machine guns jammed constantly. And somehow, against all available logic, the birds started winning. By now, the newspapers had discovered the story, and Australia's press smelled blood immediately. Headlines mocked the operation daily. Cartoons showed emus wearing military medals. Journalists started writing about the birds like they were tactical geniuses, humiliating the army in open combat. And honestly, the numbers weren't helping. Thousands of rounds fired, very few confirmed kills. One report claimed the soldiers used nearly 10,000 bullets in a single phase of the operation. For comparison, that's enough ammunition for an actual battle. This was not an actual battle. This was men with machine guns losing an argument with wildlife. Then Meredith made a big mistake. He spoke to reporters. He said the birds had remarkable maneuverability, which is military language for "we cannot hit these things." He even admitted the emus seemed to have leaders, birds acting as lookouts while the others fed. But by this stage, the story had completely escaped reality. The public wasn't watching a pest control operation anymore. They were watching the Australian army psychologically unravel in front of a bird. Eventually, the government had seen enough. The operation was shut down. The soldiers withdrew, and the emus kept walking through the wheat fields like nothing had happened. No surrender, no victory speech, no dramatic ending. just thousands of birds continuing their day, completely unbothered by the fact they defeated a modern military force. The Great Emu War lasted barely a month, but somehow this ridiculous little disaster became immortal because the story never really stopped being funny. And the worst part, the emus never even realized there was a war happening. They were just hungry, and somehow they still won.